Hello, everyone. Good morning. Our project is called Room2Explore, and it aims to improve the patient experience and change the story of pediatric care. This is our team. Our team members include Pete White from London, Shelley from Toronto, and Alba, Martí, and myself from Barcelona. And as an international team, we have been working remotely, but now all the team is here in Barcelona because we are really committed to make this project a reality. So our project won Hack the Hospital 2, the international hackathon, in which this year the thematic was to design the room of the future. And we would like to thank Garage Stories and Mobile World Capital Barcelona for this organization, as well as the 3 hospitals, Sant Joan de Déu, Goix, and Sick Kids, for giving us this opportunity. So, which was our main motivation? The main motivation for our team was to improve the hospitalization of pediatric patients and make it as positive and enjoyable as possible. And with this, we hope to reduce the stress of the pediatric patients and give them with the support they need to heal and recover. So now, Pete.
Thank you very much. So now you know a little bit about us. Let's talk a bit about you. As I'm sure you know, you are a 6-year-old pediatric patient recently diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. It's the most common cancer type in children up to 12, but the good news is you've got a good prognosis with up to 90% survival. However, you do need to stop school for at least 2 weeks while you receive chemotherapy, blood transfusions, tests, lumbar punctures, the list goes on and on. It's safe to say you're feeling uncertain, scared, anxious, and lonely. In fact, you wish you could be anywhere else. So how might we turn pediatric isolation into a positive opportunity for 5 to 8-year-olds, away from this current negative experience where children feel like they're missing out on life, and turn it into a positive experience, not an exclusionary one, where they have purpose, exclusive opportunities, and a meaning behind their life. So without further ado, welcome aboard. No longer are you spending 2 weeks in isolation. You are spending 2 weeks traveling to the edge of the galaxy. Sadly, the rest of the crew are too large to fit on the spaceship, so you're going to have to report back the findings for yourself. So let's talk about your ship. Of course, you're not staying in a boring hospital room. No, no, no. You are staying in the latest rocket ship. You have a solar filtering glass to let you see the universe go by and interact with new planets. You have mood detectors and vital signs to send live updates back to your doctors on Earth. And last of all, you have a captain's log, so you can record how you feel, what you see, and report back findings to not only future astronauts and researchers, but to your doctors as well. Of course, you're not wearing a boring hospital gown. We don't have time for that. You are wearing a spacesuit fitted with all the latest sensors to keep you going in zero gravity. And when you have visitors, such as your nurse or your parents, each will arrive with their own unique suit as well that you can take a note of in your captain's log. In the inky blackness of space, we have no light, but luckily we can mimic the sun here on Earth with circadian lighting. Some days you might feel a little bit tired, and that's okay. We'll reduce the length of the day to help promote good rest and recovery. And most amazingly of all, we have Ica, your crewmate, because what is a journey without a buddy? Ica is a dog-like robot with the latest existing artificial intelligence. It will help monitor your vital signs, moods, and activity levels, answer all your questions about why you're here and the treatment you're receiving, and play with you as well. And you can invite your friends and family with your comms panel. Stay involved with classes and with your schoolmates. Chat with your family. Play different games, and even do a Chris Hadfield and beam into your classroom, teaching your schoolmates about life in space. And you don't have to do it alone. When you face key missions, such as chemotherapy, you can invite your family to join you with mock equipment, such as a mock IV drip, so you don't have to do the big milestones alone. So how does this work in practice? Well, you have onboarding day 1 on Earth, and as you travel to different planets, it will correspond to your treatment. If you want to, You can move around the planets depending on your treatment. So if you move from day 14, for example, and suddenly you need to extend it from 2 weeks to 3 weeks, you can insert planet E, for example. So the journey is very, very flexible depending on your treatment needs. But wait, there are more adventures to be had, from ships to submarines, fantasy worlds to wizarding ones. This idea can be transferred and adapted to any kind of hospital room. And without further ado, I'll pass you to the wonderful Shelley.
Thank you. So now that you hear a little bit more about our story and what we plan to do, but getting us back to Earth, I'd like us to be also grounded. We as storytellers, we have to also think about, what does it mean? When we create the story, what does it mean to patients, families? What does it mean for healthcare providers? And what does it mean for the hospital administrators? So for each of these different features, we're also leveraging existing technology, which is basically what the Hospital 2 is all about. It's about creating a future pediatric hospital room while leveraging existing designs. So now Pete has went through all the different features and journeys with you. I want to talk a little bit more about how we actually thought about each of these features in depth. So what if I told family members that by participating in Room2Explore, they're actually able to have better quality of life for the patients? And what if that actually leads to better survival rates? What if I told the healthcare providers that basically with the real-time data by using different AI technologies within, like ICA the pet dog, or different circadian lighting, or uniforms with vital monitoring, that they're actually having a better protected time to do other things instead of just like tracking data themselves manually? And what if I actually told hospital administrators that participating in basically the Room2Explore, they're actually looking at less hospital stays? So these are some of the things that we'd like to target, and these are some of the things that we'd like to do. But of course, I'm going to move on to this. In terms of the different pathways, we do think about it. Not only do we think about it in the patients and family providers, we're also thinking about it in the different hospitalized areas, as well as the larger context, as you can see on the board. So basically, we do have several packages that we offer in terms of the features that we have. So it ranges from basic all the way to the most ideal. So the basic might actually include the detailed outer space journey versus, for ideal, that might also include ICA the pet dog, or other algorithms with AI technologies. So it's very flexible in terms of where the hospital would like to go in terms of whether doing it very basic or also going all the way to the ideal version. So as scientist myself, I'm really interested in the feasibility, acceptability, and effectiveness, as well as impact. So what we're going to do is that we're going to pilot it into hospital sites. We're going to be also evaluating using different outcomes, which are listed here on the screen. And basically, that would be patient outcomes, clinical outcomes, and implementation outcomes that you see here. And obviously, we're going to use a randomized control trial to make sure that we are meeting some of these outcome measures. And of course, it won't be just the team ourselves, right? Because we need definitely the key partners with us, whether it's researchers, designers, software developers, or end users. We do want to co-create this with the patients and family members, as well as the healthcare providers. We want to make sure that the patient experience, yes, we're improving that, but we're also improving the clinical workflow. How does it actually fit into the healthcare providers' actual daily routines, right? So we want to make sure that we are co-creating and co-designing this. So next steps is really our call to action to hospital partners, to software developers, and really to explore this idea of collaborating with us to tell the whole story. We do believe that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So hopefully by leveraging different technologies that we have together, our story that can be told can be more powerful, and that's how we might be able to change the story of pediatric care. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to us. I think we're just about time, and please do contact us. We'd love to hear from you in terms of how we can further take this into a new direction. Thank you so much.